Today we're going to dive deep and give you some history and show you how things are connected in the Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge area. It's going to be fun. Let's get into it right after that intro. Roll that intro.
I just wanna see the light.
Hi all, Keith here, welcome to the video. Before we go too much further, make sure you pause the video and click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Alright, so let's start talking about how things are connected in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. If you're like me, you assume that a lot of these restaurants and hotels and things like that in the area were locally owned mom and pop shops, but what if I told you that's not the case? But before we get into that, I just want to let you know that we're not making this video to say that these places are less or say that you shouldn't visit these places. No, we're just trying to give you a little history here and go a little deeper into the connections between all the businesses in the area. Alright, so first off, we're not going to cover things that are pretty obvious, right? Like, when you go to the area, there's Hilton hotels, there's Marriott hotels, there's Choice hotels, there's like McDonald's.
Like a McDonald's ice cream machine, I'm always broken.
You know, there's all these things that are obviously connected around the area under some corporate umbrella.
I, for one, salute our new corporate overlords.
But we're not talking about those in this video. What I'm going to give you in this video is the not so obvious connection between things. And there's so many to really cover that we're not going to get to them all in this video, but I'm going to give you my favorite ones. But if you like this type of video and you want me to go even deeper and give you some more history of the area, let me know in the comments down there below. Okay, so easing into this list now. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you may know that one of my favorite places to eat in Gatlinburg is the Peddler Steakhouse. Our number one place to eat in Gatlinburg is the Peddler Steakhouse. Did you know that the Peddler actually has a sister property in Gatlinburg named the Park Grill? Both have amazing salad bars and great steaks, but I always feel like the service at the Peddler is just a little bit more elevated. Both restaurants are actually owned by a local baker named Jeffrey Wolpert. Jeffrey actually bought the business from then owner Steak Sophisticated. In 1978, Steak Sophisticated actually bought the home from Earl Ogle, which, side note, you're going to get a lot of backstory on the Ogles here later in the video, so stick around for that. The Ogle family actually built the home there in 1958, and Steak Sophisticated bought the home from them in 1976. And then, like I said, Jeffrey bought the Peddler Steakhouse from them in 1978. And in 1995, Jeffrey built the Park Grill. Another popular steakhouse in the area is actually the Alamo Steakhouse. The Alamo Steakhouse is actually owned by the Johnson family of restaurants, and they own 7 area restaurants. The restaurants that they own are Big Daddy's Pizzeria, Bennett's Pit Barbecue, obviously the Alamo Steakhouse, Mama's Farmhouse, Joe and Pop's Sub Shop, Mama's Chicken Kitchen, and Mad Dog's Creamery and Donuts. The Johnson family actually started their restaurant empire in Pigeon Forge with Bennett's Pit Barbecue, and today their restaurants can be found all over Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, and Sevierville. Another popular restaurant in the area, and what I hear about if I ever leave it off a top 10 list, is the Smoky Mountain Brewery. Did you know the Smoky Mountain Brewery is actually a member of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants? Copper Cellar owns restaurants like Calhoun's, the Smoky Mountain Brewery, obviously, Cherokee Grill, and Chesapeake's, and so many more. The Copper Cellar family restaurants actually started in Knoxville, Tennessee in 1975 with an underground steakhouse, and it's widely believed to be Knoxville's original steakhouse. From there, they expanded to 19 different restaurants and 2 catering facilities. Today, the restaurants are still privately owned and loved by people from Tennessee and beyond, including me. Okay, so pop quiz time for you. Can you tell me what these restaurants have in common that are all on the Gatlinburg Strip? Crawdaddies, Johnny Rockets, Loco Burrow, and Puckers? Well, by now you probably guessed that they're all owned by the same company, and you're 100% correct. They're all owned by Kennedy Concepts. It all started back in 1999 when owner Chad Kennedy opened Puckers. Then over the years, he opened up those 3 more restaurants right there in the Gatlinburg Strip. I've always wondered about this one because if you've been to Gatlinburg, you know that Loco Burrow is right above Johnny Rockets on the Strip. So I've always kind of wondered if they're connected, but this confirms it. Another popular restaurant in Sevierville is the Applewood Farmhouse restaurant. It's part of a privately held company named Stokely Hospitality Enterprises. What else follows under Stokely Hospitality Enterprises? Well, obviously the Applewood Farmhouse restaurant and the Applewood Farmhouse Grill, but they also own 5 Baskin-Robbins franchises And surprisingly, they run the LeConte Lodge in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. They also do concessions within the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So this is the first company on this list that's branching out to a little bit more than restaurants, but it won't be the last. So we couldn't talk about the area without mentioning the Herschen Family Entertainment and Dolly Parton and her company, World Choice Investments. Dolly and Herschen are well known for running and managing Dollywood, Dollywood Splash Country, Dreammore Resorts, the Dollywood Cabins, and they're building 2 new resorts up by Dreammore. But did you know Dolly's entertainment company, World Choice Investments, actually owns Dolly Parton Stampede? Well, that one's kind of obvious, right? The Pirate Voyage Dinner Show, the Hatfield and McCoy Dinner Show, and the Smoky Mountain Opry. Now, the one that shocked me the most was the uber popular Frizzles chicken restaurant. It's actually a part of World Choice Investments, meaning that Dolly is the reason these cute singing chickens are there in Pigeon Forge. Alright, Dolly Parton's obviously a powerhouse in the area, but to close this out, we have to talk about the other power family in the area, the Ogles. The Ogles are so important to Sevier County that let's do a quick history lesson real fast. If you don't know, William and Martha Ogle were actually the first person to settle in what later became Gatlinburg. After the War of 1812, many veterans and their families came to the area that was later known as White Oak Flats. And the Ogles were everywhere. Now, the namesake of Gatlinburg, Radford Gatlin, moved to the area and bought a whole bunch of land. And in a Hatfield and McCoy style feud, the Gatlins and Ogles actually clashed for control of the area. If it wasn't for the post office that Radford Gatlin actually opened up, Gatlinburg might still be known as White Oak Flats, or maybe Ogleville. Anyway, Hattie Ogle was at the forefront of changing Gatlinburg into a tourist town, including opening up the first RV park and motel in the area. While Hattie was setting things up in Gatlinburg, another branch of the Ogle family was actually up in Sevierville. Dr. John Ogle and his wife Blanche purchased a 128-acre farm near Sevierville and planted 5 oak trees in the front yard and named it Five Oaks Farm. In 1946, John Ogle, son of Dr. John Ogle, married Antoinette, and they actually acquired Five Oaks Farm in the early 1950s and started a Phillips 66 distribution operation. After John died, their sons Dave and Jim convinced the family to concentrate on their real estate empire. They started by expanding Baskin Square Mall in Gatlinburg, and they established Five Oaks Development Group, Five Oaks Ogle, which was a general contracting firm, and AJO Enterprises, as well as Oak 10 Hotel Group. Dave and Jim converted the old farmhouse on the property to an upscale restaurant named Five Oaks Inn, and started building some more lodging with the Oak Tree Lodge. They later built the Bearskin Lodge in Gatlinburg, the Lodge at Five Oaks, and they converted an old Marriott, or I think it was a Fairfield Inn, into the Abbey Lodge. The farm up in Sevierville actually went into large-scale commercialization in the early 1990s. With the addition of the Five Oaks outlets, they later leased the Five Oaks outlets to Tanger, and it's still the Tanger outlets to this day. The 9th generation of the Ogle family, Jake and Taylor, joined the business and opened up the Ogle Brothers General Store. Shortly after, they developed the Five Oaks Farm Kitchen, keeping with the traditions of Dr. John Ogle and his wife Blanche. Kirby Smith, who's a cousin to Jake and Taylor Ogle, started a restaurant group named KBS Restaurant Group. That group manages Crockett's Breakfast Camp in Gatlinburg, Greenbrier, Smith & Son Quarter Kitchen, No Way Jose's Cantina, Fort Worth Texas Kitchen, Holston's Kitchen and Catering, Iron Boar Saloon, and JT Hanna's. So as you can see, the Ogle family is a very important family in the Sevier County area, even to this day. We connected a lot of dots today, and we took a deep dive into the Sevier County area to explore a lot of the hidden connections and things in the area, which I personally think is pretty interesting. Did you find it entertaining or interesting? Let me know in the comments down there below. Alright everyone, we're going to wrap things up there, but make sure you stick around for just a little bit longer because we'll have some end cards with some video suggestions, and we'd love it if you'd watch another video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Click the join button down there below to find out all the great benefits of becoming a member of the channel. Also, check the merch shelf out down there below this video to see all the great designs we have in our store. Also, I want to take a minute to thank all of you that made it this far into the video. Y'all are clearly in it with us, and we appreciate you more than you know. Comment that Ogles run this town down there below the comment section to let me know you made it this far into the video. But we really appreciate you. Anyway, if you're looking for another way to support the channel, check out our coffee page. It's just a way for you to drop us like a virtual tip or buy us a coffee. Any way you choose to support the channel, we really appreciate it. Alright everyone, we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching. Peace and love.